With a constantly changing meta in Marvel Strike Force, characters that were once valuable are being used less and less, and characters that were once forgotten about are now important again. And in this video, we're counting down the best characters for you to farm and build to prepare you for the incursions, raids, Dark Dimension 6, and everything else coming up in Marvel Strike Force this year. So you've already see who are the most important characters for you to farm in April of 2023. And you know what to do, Valley Club. Find that like button and let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Marvel Strike Force fans. I am ValleyFlyin. Welcome back to the ValleyFlyin channel. Hope you're having a great day, and I hope you're ready to see who are the best characters for you to be building in Marvel Strike Force for April of 2023. Now, we do a lot of lists like this. We do question and answer videos. We do gameplay videos, everything to help your Marvel Strike Force experience. And if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. Usually there's at least 5 videos per week on this channel. Everything to help your journey in Marvel Strike Force. But let's talk about this list. Now, we do this list every month or so. Last month, there were not a lot of new farmable characters, so we did not do this month. But this list is based on the characters that are farmable. So if we go and take a look at the characters that are not eligible for this list, we see we have some of the best characters in the game. We have our Horseman characters. We have Apocalypse, Doom, Dormammu. We have Icarus. All these unfarmable characters that are really, really good are not going to be on this list. And unfortunately, with all these characters not eligible for this list, well, there's not a lot of great characters left for players to farm, but there are a lot of good ones that you will need. Now, this list is based on their farmability, and there's a few ways to define that. For this list in particular, we define farmable as they're being on a node or in a store or being available in achievements or milestones. So Hulk, Wolverine, and Mr. Negative all are eligible for this list. And where we value these characters, well, we used to value these Horsemen and these primary Scourge teams a little bit more, but now that Apocalypse has been out in the game and we start to see these incursion raids, Dark Dimension 6, and start to see what is planned for 2023, some of the priorities have shifted a little. So there's a big shakeup in this list, and the primary game modes that we value in this game mode, so in this list. So if you value some other game modes, and your list may look a little different, but first is Arena. That's where you get the power core. So I think that is the most important game mode. I also think the raids, whether it be the incursion that is coming up or the current Doom raids, are also very valuable because that is stuff that you're doing every single day. And once these incursion raids are over or in the game, and we have this gear 18 in the game, well, that is when we're gonna start to need these characters for Dark Dimension 6. So raid teams are very, very valuable. Cosmic Crucible offense then gets the nod over Cosmic Crucible defense, which gets the nod over War offense and then War defense. And any other game mode not as important for this list, but these are the characters that are not eligible. Let's clear this off and talk about the characters that newly became eligible for this list. And these were the 2 new characters that were added since the last time we did this list back in February. We have Morbius, which was added to the Blitz store. We had Cho go into the Blitz Orb, and you could even argue that that is farmable because you're going to get a lot of shards for that. But just for the purposes of list and consistency, Cho not eligible for this list, but Morbius is. And Viv Vision was recently added to the Hard Heroes Chapter 6-9, so she is eligible for this list. And we have some characters coming up very soon in the Hard Heroes, in Morbius being added there, Spider Noir, and then Hard Villains. We have Black Panther 1MM being added very, very soon. But let's clear this off as well. And let's start with this countdown. Coming in at number 10 this month, dropping 3 spots from last month, is Heartless Doctor Strange. And Heartless Doctor Strange, the whole Darkhold team actually got a little less valuable, not really using this team in Arena for a while. They not really using Heartless Doctor Strange in the raids either. So the main place that you're going to use this character is in Cosmic Crucible and in War. Darkhold is still very, very good in Cosmic Crucible, very good in War as well. And he does have that added benefit of being part of that Apocalypse unlock. So if you don't have Apocalypse unlocked, I would start to work on some of these characters to build up your Horseman teams, and get that Apocalypse unlocked and start also looking for Dark Dimension 6. But let's see why Doctor Strange Heartless is so good as we take a look at some of his T4 and ISO 8 recommendations. He has a good basic, but unless you're really, really investing in this character now, which I'm not sure if it's a great time to, really wouldn't do the basic. 72% of users on MSF.GG have the specialty for it, and the big thing here is reducing the speed bar of the primary target by 15%. The ultimate T4 is going to give you more damage, but it's also going to give you additional damage per positive and negative effects, so I like this T4 as well. And this passive affects the entire team, getting more crit chance, crit damage for not just Doctor Strange Heartless, but all your Darkhold allies. Very, very good character. Not as valuable as he was, but if you want to unlock him, you can farm him at two different places. One is in the arena store. The other is the Hard Villains Chapter 5-9. And as far as his ISO 8 class, the most popular ISO 8 class for Doctor Strange Heartless is Raider. Back to the list though, coming in at number 9 this month is Hela, dropping 1 spot from last month, and she's a very, very good character. But as far as her usage this month, it's pretty much just in War on that Undying team and in Cosmic Crucible with that Undying team as well. Zombie, Iron Man, and Hela work very, very good against a lot of teams, but they did get their value reduced in Cosmic Crucible. They still are able to tangle certain tangled web counters or certain tangled web defenses in Room 5, but very, very good. She is a part of that Phoenix unlock as well. Let's go take a look at her kit, see why she is so valuable. And mainly, you're bringing her for Greg. Greg gets a nod as well, but I think this one here, the special, the ultimate, clearing all barrier from enemies, which is great. Zombie Iron Man is an ally spreading all that effects instead of just these 4 that he's doing. The big thing here with this move, and it's not related to T4, but characters killed by this deck cannot be revived. Also looking at this passive as well, when the character drops below 50% health, Zombie Iron Man is an ally, so this is mainly going to affect in Cosmic Crucible and in War. Summon an Undead Asgardian, aka Greg, to apply taunt to all Undead Asgardians, and it can only trigger once per match. So this passive gets you an extra Greg on the field. And like I said, very, very good in War, very, very good in Cosmic Crucible. I wanted to rate her higher, but with the introduction of Apocalypse, she kind of fell out of the arena meta since she was introduced. And she, like I said, she is great for that Phoenix unlock. And as far as ISO 8 classes, Raider seems to be the best class for her. And where you could farm her, we could farm her in Villain 7-6 and into Hard Heroes Chapter 2-3. Great, great character. But let's move on this list. Coming in at number 8 is a new character. This is going to be a more controversial character, first time on this list, and is Winter Soldier. Now, if you look at Winter Soldier on his own, not that great of a character, but because it looks like these incursion rates are becoming more valuable, especially with that Gear 18, I think we're going to need to build up Winter Soldier for that Rebirth team to take care of some of these bio nodes. And is great in the raids, great in the bio section of the raids, which we should also have in these incursion raids as well. Cosmic Crucible on defense, this Rebirth team works very well there, works very good on War defense as well. They are counterable. They're not meant for War, but they do give you some added value there. And Winter Soldier also does that. Let's go take a look at his kit and see if any of these T4s are worthy of building up. Well, this one doesn't do much. The basic doesn't do much, just gives more damage. Always gives bleeds with this special. You could probably skip that. Now, I do like this one, the ultimate. It's a 3-turn cooldown, so it gives you a lot of damage on this move, 550% damage and 80 more if you do this T4. And instead of stunning for 1 turn in the raids, it's going to stun for 2 turns in a raid. So very, very strong opening move from Winter Soldier. But I also like this one because it's going to give more crit chance itself and all Rebirth allies. This is a good T4. I like these T4s on the passives that affect the entire team. Now, Striker is the most popular class on MSF.GG with 72% of users having that Striker class. And if you want to farm Winter Soldier for that Rebirth team and these incursion rates that are coming up, which is ultimately going to lead to Dark Dimension 6, you could get Winter Soldier on Heroes 6-3. Back to the list though, coming in at number 7 and dropping a bunch of spots, dropping 6 spots from last month, is Gambit. And Gambit's value has been reduced. So is, unfortunately, the entire Unlimited X-Men team. They're just not as strong in Cosmic Crucible with this new season, and many teams are beating the Unlimited even in Room 4, which means that Gambit's overall value went down. Now, he is a famine horseman, so that is a great thing there. If you don't have Apocalypse unlocked, you're going to need to build up Gambit to build up to get Apocalypse unlocked. And if you don't have that big Apocalypse, you're going to need to put some gear into your Gambit to get him unlocked. Now, he's also great in Cosmic Crucible. They did lose value, and I'm seeing them more and more on defense instead of offense. So again, that makes them lose a lot of value. But War, they're still great in War, offense or defense. They can't handle some of these meta teams, but they are going to be very annoying if you're trying to beat them without a meta team, or if you're facing a non-meta team with this unlimited X-Men. Let's go take a look at his kit, see why he is so good. And he has a bunch of moves here. The great thing about his kit, the special 0-turn cooldown. So when you're using Gambit, you could choose to do a big single target attack or a big AoE attack with Gambit, and good stuff there. Now, as far as the T4s, I would do the ultimate here. Now, it does have a long cooldown, so you're probably using this once per match, but you're applying Disruptor for 2 turns, flipping 2 positive effects to negative effects, and you're getting more damage on an AoE attack. So great move here, but I think the best T4 is his passive here. Like I said, I like these passives that affect the entire team, and you're filling speed bar for 20%, gaining more max health. X-Men allies, not just unlimited X-Men allies, are gaining that 25% max health as well. He's also gaining stealth. Very, very strong character, but kind of by default because the unlimited X-Men lost some value this season. Well, Gambit also lost some value, but still a great character. If you want to farm him, he's available in the Crucible store. And as far as ISO 8 classes, well, Raider seems to be the most popular ISO 8 class, with 90% of users on MSF.gg having that Raider class equipped. And not only does he unlock Apocalypse, he also can unlock Magneto if you don't have Magneto unlocked. So great character, but just lost a lot of value compared to what is going on with the rest of the characters in the meta this month. And coming in at number 6, continuing with the countdown, is another new character on this list. That's because of some reworks, and that is Dagger. Never been on this list before. Great character for the raids. These new warriors were really designed to just handle the Mystic section of the Doom raids. Now, in these Incursion raids, I don't think they are going to be able to do that, but it will give you something better. A Cosmic Crucible offense team, and the combination of Cloak, Dagger, Deathpool, already good as a Cosmic Crucible offense team. When Firestar and that 5th member gets added to this team, you're going to be even stronger. But let's go take a look at her kit, see why Dagger is such a strong character. And there's a few T4s that we can put on her. The special is very, very good. This is the one that gives the healing. This is usually her opening move. She's going to do some piercing damage to the primary and secondary targets, clearing all positive effects instead of 3 positive effects on the primary target, and then change to 4 adjacent targets. Great move here. This is what she's opening with, but if you place someone like Starlord next to her, she can get some ability energy and possibly use this ultimate on turn 1, giving you a big ultimate of Dagger and a big ultimate of Cloak as well. This one is going to add more damage to all enemies, and if Cloak is an ally, you're getting even more damage to all enemies. Very, very strong move. All you're really adding is a damage here, and normally I don't like these moves that just add damage, but I think this is such a strong move, and especially with her value coming up even more in the new seasons of Cosmic Crucible, I think you're going to want to keep for that ultimate as well. And as far as her passive, well, this is a great one because it affects Mystic Heroes and New Warrior allies on spawn, regeneration for 2 turns, 3 of them. The Mystic Heroes, New Warriors, and more resistance for Mystic Heroes and the New Warrior allies. So very, very good character. Great now. You're going to need her later. Maybe not in the raids later, but in Cosmic Crucible later, going to be very, very good. And if you want to get some shards of Dagger, she's available in Arena Store right now. Also in the Hard Villains Chapter 4-6. And the most popular ISO 8 class for Dagger is that Striker class, with 79% of users on MSF.gg equipping that Striker on Dagger. Moving on with the list though, coming in at number 5, it is Dagger's partner in crime, Cloak, coming in at number 5, also newly added on this list. And just like Dagger, going to be very great in the raids, in these Doom raids. Maybe not in the Incursion raids when the Incursion raids are live, but they're going to be very good on Cosmic Crucible offense, just like Cloak. Let's go take a look at, just like Dagger. Let's go take a look at Cloak's kit, see why he is so good. He has a few T4s that I really, really like. I like his special here. This is probably his second move that you're doing. You want to probably open with the ultimate for all that damage, but you're applying slow defense down, offense down for 2 turns instead of 1 turn. So very, very good T4 with this one. I also like this ultimate here. We're getting more damage to the enemies. If Dagger is an ally, 60% piercing to all enemies. And kind of like Dagger, normally I don't like these T4s that just do damage, but because their damage is so high and you could use it to wipe out entire teams in Cosmic Crucible, I do like both of their ultimates. And as far as the passive, well, this is one that infects the entire team. So this is a no-brainer for me. More focus for newer allies, yes. More focus for Mystic Heroes, yes. More dodge chance when he has offense up. Yes, I like all that stuff. And if you want to get a cloak of your own, well, he's available in the raid store right now. Also, Villains 2/6. And as the most popular ISO 8 class for cloak is that skirmisher class, with 88% of users having that skirmisher class attached to Dagger. Moving on with the list, coming in at number 4 this month is another new character to this list. A little bit controversial here, but another rebirth character in OG Captain America. And this rebirth team very, very good in the raids. You get full sim the Doom raids right now, and I'm assuming that once these incursion raids are here, if you have your rebirth team built big enough, you could fully sim all those raids as well. So very, very good character. He's also just like Winter Soldier, very good on defense in Cosmic Crucible and in war. Let's go take a look at his kits though, see what T4s, if any, you should put on him. And this Inspire was one of the best moves at launch, if not the best move at launch, where you're getting all negative ability energy, getting that taunt. Now what the T4 does now, he's had several reworks since his introduction at global launch, clearing all negative effects himself, so she's very, very strong. Ability energy, this goes to random allies, not just rebirth allies, so this is gonna affect him in multiple game modes, and it raids ability energy for random rebirth allies, so it gets even better in the raids. I do like this T4 though. His shield throw, his ultimate, it's going to do some damage to the primary targets, chaining the trees targets. What I really like on this one is it's filling Captain America's speed by 30%, and it's a 3-turn cooldown. And last but not least, let's talk about the passive here. These are passive that affect the entire team. Assemble, you're getting taunt for 2 turns when a rebirth ally drops below 50% max health, and he has so much block chance, block amount. That taunt, he's not going to be taking too much damage. He's adding even more block amount for himself when a rebirth ally drops below 50% max health. In war, more max health for wave 1 Avengers allies, but in the raids, more max health for rebirth allies. So I do like a lot of what Captain America does. I do think that the rebirth team and the incursion raids are valuable enough with all that gear that they're going to give you for Dark Dimension 6, that I think it is worth putting him at this number 4 spot. Now, where you can farm Captain America, well, Nexus 1-3, a very early node to get Captain America, and Healer still seems to be the most popular class for OG Captain America, with 59% of users on MSF.GG with that Healer class. Moving on in the list to number 3, coming in at number 3 this month, also newly on this list. Actually, he moved up a few spots from last month on this list. Magneto. Magneto is back, rising up a few spots this month, and he's a very, very good character in the raids, part of that Death Seed team. He is a part of that Apocalypse unlock. The Death Seed is very good in Cosmic Crucible, very good in war, and because there is a section for non-Horseman legendary characters, I think it may be worth building up Magneto for Dark Dimension 6 as well. So you're going to get a lot of value from Magneto. That is why he is on this list. He is a permanent legendary character, so you can build your mutants, and anytime you have them built up, can get more stars on Magneto. Let's go take a look at his T4s, see if any, which are very, very good. And let's start with his special here, Polarized Beam, more damage to the primary targets, removing all positive effects from the primary target instead of 2 random ones. And in the raids, applying ability block for 2 turns. So gets even better in the raids. I love this special on Magneto. This is probably his big move, but it may not be worth the T4 to the ultimate here. But his passive is, because in the raids on spawn, if this character has 4 more Death Seed allies, generate 5 ability energy for self, and that means that you could do this big ultimate. So pretty much you're doing this passive so that you can do ultimate after ultimate after ultimate in the raids. So very, very good T4 on that one. Now, there's a couple different ISO 8 classes that are very, very popular for Magneto. If you're using him on a non-Death Seed team, Raider seems to be the most popular class. It did lose a lot of popularity from last month, going down to 49% from 59%. And Striker seems to be the best class on this Death Seed team. That has moved up from 22% to 32%. So 10% of users on MSF.G switched from Raider to Striker. And I think it depends where you're using this character there. So, and like I said, he is a permanent legendary. So anytime you have your mutants ready, you can go unlock Magneto. Back to the list though, coming in at number 2 this month, kind of by default, is Sersi, rising up a few spots from last month. And she's very good in the Mystic raids right now, in the Doom raids. I'm not sure if she's going to be a solution for these incursion raids that are coming up, but you could use her in the Mystic raids all the time, so she gets the nod over some of these other characters on this list. Also very good in Cosmic Crucible. A lot of players are placing the Eternals along with the Tangled Web in room 5 on defense. I like to use them on offense though, so she may be getting a little more value for me than she is for you if you're using her on defense, but also very good in war as well. I love just taking those Eternals with Loki and just annihilating any hero Asgardians that someone's placed on defense in war. Let's go take a look at her kit on MSF.GG, see what makes her so good. And she, because she was an arena character, I actually like a lot of these T4s. You can actually do this this basic as well if you have the usage. It's only giving you damage, but this special, very, very good. More damage for called allies. 10% of this character is maxed out as barrier for Self and Icarus, and you're usually using her with Icarus. This one doesn't apply too much nowadays, but if you're still using an arena, 10% of this character is maxed out as a barrier for other allies as well. This is her big opening move, the ultimate elemental slam, 100% damage to all enemies, 100% on a AoE. T4 is very, very good. Speed up for 2 turns instead of 1 turn, and generate 2 ability energy for Self and Icarus. That is very, very strong. So you could do ultimates multiple times per match. And this is a great one as well. Now, if you're not using her with Icarus, this one does lose some value. But if you are using her with Icarus, well, you're getting more max health for Self, more max health for Icarus, and more focus for herself, and more focus for Icarus as well. So very, very strong T4s on Sersi's kit. And if you want to farm her, well, she is available on the hard villains 2-9, so you get some shards for her. And the most popular ISO 8 class for Sersi is that Skirmisher class, with 89% of users on MSF.GG having that Skirmisher class attached to Sersi. Back to the list, and coming in at number 1, first time on one of these lists, it is our boy Nick Fury, the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. He is a permanent legendary character that just got a rework and just got a new Invader team. And with these reworks, well, now he is valuable in Arena as well. If you saw my video from last week, I'm using him all the time in Arena on offense, which is the only Arena character that is farmable. So yeah, Nick Fury kind of gets the nod by default by just being a Arena character. And kind of like Magneto, you're probably going to want to take him into Dark Dimension 6 in that non-Horseman legendary section, because you're probably building him for the incursion raids anyway. Let's go take a look at his kit and his T4s. Now, Nick Fury has a couple different ISO 8 classes that work well on him, and both of them are tied to this basic here. So if you're not using him, if you were using him before the rework, I think the most popular ISO 8 class was Healer, with 58% of users still with that Healer class attached to Nick Fury. But I think nowadays with the rework, I think Raider is a better class for him. And that's because generate 1 ability energy on each crit. You're going to do that on the safety and on the basic. So every time you're doing the basic, you're getting ability energy every time you crit, and Raider increases that crit chance. Healer's not a bad class for him, but I do like that more aggressive approach with the Raider on him. Now, as far as the T4s, well, this ultimate is a very good one, because his shield agents that he summons also getting a rework. It could do nothing, because before the T4, it's 2 to 3. With the T4, it's a guaranteed of 3. And I think that makes a big difference. Sometimes when you're getting those 2 before the T4, doesn't feel as good. When you get those 3 though, it feels very good. He also has a really, really good passive, but I'm not sure if it is worth a T4. And as far as where you could farm Nick Fury, once again, he is that permanent legendary character. So once you have your shield characters, you could go ahead and unlock him. But yes, let me know if you prefer that more aggressive Raider class or the more conservative Healer class. But that is it for the countdown. But we're not done with this video, because we have a bunch of honorable mentions to discuss. First, always a permanent honorable mention is going to be Nobu, because he's the only character that after he dies, he can still bring characters back to life. So just having him on the team can get you some really, really good RNG for Nobu. All right, let's talk about the rest of the Horsemen team characters that were not mentioned on this list. Wong, Scarlet Witch, Hulk, Abomination, She-Hulk, Phantom X, Dazzler, Psylocke, all very, very good characters that if you want to get a huge Apocalypse, you probably got to get them up to that big gear level. So if you don't have Apocalypse, I would start working on them. If you do have Apocalypse, I would start shifting your goals towards these incursion raids and the new Cosmic Crucible. All right, let's also mention the good members of the Young Avengers, Kate Bishop, Squirrel Girl, both farmable. Let's mention the rest of the Bionic Avengers, actually all of the Bionic Avengers, Vision, Iron Man, Vision, Hulkbuster, all great characters there. And Deathlock, not available yet, but if you count that Arena Orb, you can get some Deathlock there as well. And we can't forget these Wakandan. Shuri, Black Panther, Okoye, very good for Chaos Theory, very good in Cosmic Crucible defense, and very good for war offense as well. So that is it with this month's list. Let me know what you think of the list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you value some other game modes differently than I do and your list looks totally different than mine? Or are you still chasing Apocalypse and you have all those Horseman characters on this team? Let me know what your thoughts on this are. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully it helps you in deciding who to farm though. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button for more great Marvel Strike Force content. Give it a like as it does help that YouTube algorithm. Check out some of the other videos on this channel. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin out.